Look at that. Okay. So I just have a bunch of random questions. So this one is just really bland. So take it for what it is. But it's, how passionate are you about the music you listen to? And do you ever go to concerts very often? How do you purchase your music?
Okay. Usually I'll purchase my music at concerts, actually. I'll buy albums when the concert's over.
Mm-hmm.
I go to a concert probably like 2 or 3 in a month. I've been starting to go to local shows a lot more.
Cool.
And I am very passionate about music.
Nice. So it's one of those questions where you're like, so do you like music? Like, yeah, I do like music. It's pretty obvious.
Yeah.
It's like,
Who would
do you
say
like
no?
ice cream? Yeah. Okay, so you own records. That was my next question.
Yes.
Do you own any records?
I own records.
How many do you own?
Oh, I don't know exactly how many, but not very many.
Not very many?
How many are personally mine and weren't like inherited from my mother?
Yeah.
Maybe 10.
Maybe 10?
Maybe
Okay.
10.
Are they like new music, you think? Like new bands?
Like Tame Impala, Billie Holiday, the XX. I bought Queen on my own.
Ooh,
Yeah.
good stuff.
Yeah.
Alright, okay. So, would you consider yourself a record collector, or is it just something that you kind of do in passing?
Something that I do in passing. I want to collect more albums. Like, I've just started recently, this past, like, August, October. But I'm not looking to have so many that I don't know what to do with all of them, you know?
Yeah, that's my goal, but different thing.
Yeah. Whatever's clever.
Yeah, so, what do you think made you buy your first record?
Nolan Chen. Actually.
Nolan Chen?
Yeah,
The
actually.
influence of someone else?
Yeah, the influence of someone else. He was just like, Jenna, you need this record.
Yeah.
And it was the Billie Holiday one.
Mm-hmm.
It was super cheap, and I don't regret it at all.
Yeah.
I still listen to it all the
So,
time.
like, what drove you to, like, take your parents, like your mom's records and stuff like that? What do you think was, like, the catalyst?
Okay, well, I used to pirate music a lot,
Mm-hmm.
and I, like, recently have started working in the music industry, so I felt really bad about doing that.
Right.
Because, I mean, touring and record sales are a big part of how artists actually make money.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of did it more as a way to support the industry. Like, CDs are fine, but vinyl
not as unique.
it looks better, it sounds better. Yeah. It's more of a, like, an achievement to get a vinyl than to have a CD.
It's very true.
And it comes with a digital download, so...
There you go, you get the best of both worlds.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely. So, yeah, I was just like, the next question was just going to be like, what's the appeal of purchasing records as opposed to CDs or digital copies?
Oh,
so, I mean,
yeah.
basically.
Somewhat answered.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, do you think there's something special about vinyl that other forms of media, like music media, lack?
The, like, habit and the whole, like, routine that you get into when you start putting on vinyl, like, pulling it out of its case and being careful and then flipping it and, like, I don't know. There's just a beauty to that routine, and I like it.
Yeah, I've always felt it's like a certain, it's a more of a commitment to the music that you're picking and stuff like that. And you have to, like, force yourself to pick out what you're going to be listening to.
Yeah, and you have to listen to all of it. You can't just, like, oh, I want to hear this one song from this artist. Like, you get the whole artist's story, what they're trying to tell with what they wrote about on the album.
Definitely. It's more of an experience
than
it is. Yeah. So, do you think that record collecting is a hobby that's accessible to people of all musical tastes? Like, do you think?
That is a good question. I want to say yes, but at the same time, I feel like not all music translates as well onto vinyl. Like, music that doesn't use... I don't know what I'm trying to say. Like, as complex of instruments, or that's, like, overly electronic, I feel like that wouldn't...
Sort of detracts from what you kind of expect. I feel like people just have sort of certain expectations for records, like rock music or something along those lines. And, like, actually, like, sales emulate that because a majority of record sales are predominantly, like, rock or alternative music. So it's kind of, it's always interesting.
Yeah, I feel like rap, electronic... Not as much, but like blues, jazz, hip hop, or not hip hop, What am I trying to say? Rock. The opposite of hip hop.
What's that other word?
Yeah.
Okay, so like, do you think the vinyl sales will continue to grow in the coming years, or do you think that it's just kind of a fad?
I think they'll continue to grow, personally, because I think that people are starting to realize like piracy isn't the best thing to do.
Yeah.
You know, I've heard more cases of people getting caught for it, so I think they'll try to start buying music legally.
Far more intimidating world to start illegally downloading it.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think, like, this isn't a question that I have written down or anything, but like, what do you think, because it's obviously something that's picked up in the past 6 years according to like record sales statistics. I was like, what do you think has changed in like music culture to make people want to start doing something that seems so old? I mean, in reality, I mean, it sounds fantastic and all those sorts of things. But what do you think was the turning point? You know, like.
That is a really good question. 6 years ago, 2006. I think the turning point might have just been.
You don't know?
That's a really deep question, Jim. You did stump me. I didn't think you would, but you did. I think. Well, again, like the piracy, I think people would just. Because when you would pirate tracks, like it wouldn't necessarily have the correct name, it wouldn't have the correct artist down. Like I know I'll look on my iPod at songs that I've downloaded and I'll be like, wait, that's not at all what that's titled. That isn't the right artist, you know? So you know for sure that the artist is getting credit for what they've created. And I think like buying singles was really big for a while. And so it's just kind of like consumer habits seem to be like cyclical, like certain things will be in style at one point and then the other one will come back. So like singles were big for a while and now it's like full albums.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Even with people that don't collect records and stuff like that, it just seems to be the trend, musical trend.
Yeah.
I always liked the idea of records because it's such a definitive way for bands to portray themselves, you know, like it provides far more character than just, like you said, like downloading something can do, 'cause, you know, like there's all the art that comes with it, and there's the organization of the songs and the albums and stuff like that, but that's just another conversation that's irrelevant to me. But that's all I had to ask you. So, say goodbye to the camera.
Okay, bye.